Well, Goose has done it again. He gave us some more content here. I'm going to put a link down below so you guys can go check it out. This is some of his best work. The way he lays out this video is great, right? So I'm not going to talk about what he put on there because you guys really need to go watch this. I'm going to talk about the possible ramifications for people around Mr. Tommy Tallarico. We were without content for so long, and all of a sudden in a short period of time, here they come. Just gold bar after gold bar of content, right? Even when the man's not here. Even when the man's not here, he just produces content gold, because some of this stuff, when you think about it, it's funny. It's really, really funny, unless you're Phil Adam or anybody at Intellivision, because this could be a huge, huge headache. You know, guys, from knowing about Mr. Tallarico now for, 4.5 years now, I get the sense that he's a kind of a character that flies by the seat of his pants, right? He does things and figures out how it's going to work later, right? He's just like a bull in a china shop. But he's undisciplined, right? And he's, in my point of view, he's the kind of employee I never like to have, right? I don't like to have these kind of people under me. People that give me surprises, you know, those are the kind of employees you don't want. The guy that shows up or doesn't show up on Mondays after a Super Bowl, for example. Always has a story, flat tire guy, you know, that guy, right? Always has a surprise for you at work. And he's not, you know, when you're that undisciplined, you could be very creative, but there's times where that discipline is needed. And when that discipline is lacking, it can get you into a lot of trouble. There's you know, places where lack of discipline, not crossing your I's, dotting your T's can affect you, right? So first, let me say that this is not financial or legal advice. These are just suppositions, because I think this is the best part of the conversation. I think right now, the person that is sweating the most, right? And I mean, actual beads of sweat, is Phil Adam. Why is that? Because if what appears to be, right, because this is just circumstantial evidence, right? What it appears to be is that you have games here with stock music that, you know, Tommy claimed that he wrote, right? And I don't know, I don't have evidence of that he didn't write them, but, you know, it sounds very similar to stock music. Not only that, we have a piece here that's published on Spotify or something like that, right? So let me just talk in generalities, right? Because I don't know anything about the specifics about this case, but I want to get you in the mindset of the people that he works with. Because working with this guy has to be just a complete nightmare, because you don't know what's going to happen. If you're a numbers person, if you're a person that has to deal with paperwork, if you're a person that has to deal with legalities, holy shit, this guy is a nightmare. Right? Why? Because we know his reputation. His reputation precedes him. Mr. Exaggerate Everything, Mr. I did this, that, and the other, Mr. MTV Cribs. Now, all those things are fine, guys. When it comes to YouTube, all that's going to happen is you're going to get clowned, right? But there's times things like that can come and bite you in the ass. Now, let's do a hypothetical here, right? Let's not talk about Tommy Tallarico. Let's talk about somebody else, right? But if somebody else was in a situation where they claimed they made some music and it was just stock, that's not a problem. If it's properly licensed to resale, right? Because licenses for intellectual properties are very, very specific. Just because you license something for a particular thing doesn't mean you can use it for everything. So, for example, if I license a song for, you know, a video, for example, and I use it on my video, that doesn't mean I can sell my video to somebody else with that licensed music. I would have to get, you know, permission from that intellectual property owner, right? And I would have to compensate them in some way, whatever that is, right? That's usually what happens. When you bypass those things, you might be in trouble, right? If I was to claim that I wrote it and I produced it and all this other stuff, and then I resold it, but in actuality somebody else wrote it and has, you know, intellectual property rights on it, then I could get in trouble, right? Now imagine being the person, right, who brokered all the deals that I did with, you know, this hypothetical company on which I'm claiming this is music that I wrote, and he's out there based on my word. Right? And we don't know that this is the case with Tallarico, right? These are just the hypotheticals. These hypotheticals. But what a nightmare would it be for Phil Adam? He cuts the deals. He's wheeling and dealing. Oh, I'm going to give you this and that and the other and this and this and this and that. And all of a sudden, because you know this is happening as we speak, right? You know that somebody's getting to, you know, whoever wrote a certain piece of music going, hey, they cut you out of your money. You better get your money, man. And maybe that person, right, could be ringing his phone to his, you know, to his guy saying, hey, somebody's trying to do something to me here. You know, I need the help of a professional. I need some professional assessment as well. Anybody should in any type of, you know, legal or financial situation, right? You shouldn't be listening to YouTubers. You shouldn't be listening to Tommy Tallarico. And now, you know, that person gets back and says, hey, wait a minute. You know, that song sounds a lot like mine. I got some questions, right? I got some questions, number one. Number two, I'm going to have to be compensated royally because now you've associated me with this guy. Isn't this the guy from the H-Bomber video? I don't want to be associated with a guy like this, right? This is going to damage my reputation. And of course, the scum-sucking lawyer just coming up with more excuses and more excuses. Yeah, man, he damaged you. I mean, how can... And this is getting back to Phil and everybody else. And Phil's going, did anybody check this shit? Like, what's going on? Don't we have a QC department? No, you didn't. For the longest time, right? When I was making videos saying, hey, you guys don't have a QC. And guys, a lot of companies cut corners in QC, and this is what can happen to you, right? Things like this. Now, we don't know what's happened here, right? But whenever you cut on quality control in any type of manufacturing setting, you're going to run into these type of problems because everything needs to be double checked, right? It's like the old saying says, trust but verify, especially when you have somebody that flies by the seat of their pants like Mr. Tallarico does, Mr. Air Guitar, Mr. MTV Cribs, right? He would be the number one target. He's a target-rich environment for any assessment. How is this going to go, guys? I don't know. But I mean, I wish I could read the emails. I wish I could hear the phone calls. Because you know, right? You know right now somebody's losing their shit, right? Whoever bought these, whoever sold these, they're looking for contracts right now. Did we do this right? Did we do this wrong? I don't know. It's just going to be a delicious mess. And, you know, once again, congrats to Goose for finding this. This is some great work. Guys, again, the link down below. You need to watch this video. Subscribe to him. He does a lot, you know, he does a lot of the actual legwork. I just sit here and, you know, talk shit from right now. I'm outside the Chocolate Hills, they call this. And it's just beautiful mountains. But I couldn't do this, right? Go check out his video. Thank you guys for checking me out, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.